What? What kind of an ending of an episode is that? What a cliffhanger. Subaru suddenly forgets who he is? Subaru is no longer Subaru, question mark? That would be crazy. That would be a really weird twist. I don't know where that would come from. I don't remember them ever implying at any point this idea of some other random isekai being shoved into Subaru's body and just popping up into him out of nowhere. Like, what in this tower or has been happening that would imply somebody else could potentially isekai their soul into Subaru's body, like, you know, a sentence of bookworm with mine or something like that, like a replacement of self, or just in general Subaru going off to somewhere else and then somebody else coming with his appearance right here. It's I think it all really comes down to, where did Subaru go after he left Ram? That's where all of my kind of predictions and theories really stem from. Where did he go? If he went up to Raid, which I don't think so, because I think the door that Subaru went into was a different shape than the door that goes up to Raid. So unless there's another door in between there. But he was in that center area when he bumped into Ram, and he says, I need to find out some information on how to defeat Raid. And then he sees a door open, he goes up it. And again, it was rounded, which I think the one that goes up to Raid is squared. And again, it's in that center area. So if he went up to Raid, it would probably, yes, simply that he went up there, got his face beat in so badly, maybe he lost memories. it jostled him so bad, he literally reverts back to the original point in which he arrived. Like, he's lost so much memory, he's back before he got Isekai. And then suddenly he's got Amelia and Beatrice in front of him. And so that would make sense to me, because Subaru would be like, you know, it sounds like the inner dialogue in the way that he acts when he afterwards, that it sounds like Subaru. And yeah, technically at the very end, you have the caption that says the convenience store again. So it implies that this is Subaru. And that really gets into my theories on how. I think he went to the library. I think the moment that he said, I need to figure out a way of defeating him, I can't go back to here, I can't go back to here, where else can I go? I got to figure this out. Oh, that's right. And he goes to this door. I think that was the door that led to the library. And I think that he's going to the library for the sake of finding information on how to defeat Raid. Now, here's where it gets weird, because yes, there's the obvious issue that we're having here, where that library is full with books of every single person that's ever been alive. And so to be able to find what I would assume he'd be looking for, a book on Raid, because he died, if I can find the book on him, I can figure out how to defeat him. But could he find Raid's book? That's the question mark. Or did he run to something else during that process? Now, if he found Raid's book, the question mark that I kind of have is all this together. Like, let me be clear here. Why in general this is an issue besides trying to find a book is that when he found the book on Typhoon, it implied that he got absorbed in it. Now, this could just be him saying that the fact of he's seen all this stuff was traumatizing and he's kind of glad they snapped him out of it. But I got an impression where as you read these books, you lose yourself in them. You become the character. That's really the question mark there, is that as you're reading the book, is it from a first-person perspective? It's probably something that's more clear in the light novel. Are you losing yourself because you become the character in the story, which is the individual that these memories are based off of? And could you potentially lose yourself in it enough that you become the one that's inside the book? So this kind of gets me a theory of, could Subaru, while looking for somebody, did he find something and it messed with his memories? So much was coming into his head that it literally caused like almost a brain reset, and he lost a lot of his memories. And now we're dealing with a Subaru that is now kind of a little bit reset here. Or could he have run into a book on gluttony, and that could have damaged his memories in some way, but people still remember who he is? Or, and this is where my potential main theory is, did he find a book on himself? Now, yes, the thing here is like, but he's still alive. My crazy theory is that he found a bookshelf while he was looking for Raid that had literally every single time that he's ever been alive. That this library is able to transcend his reset, and it has a book for every single life of Subaru. That would be crazy. And he found the first one he pulls off the shelf, it's the one when he first arrived. But then he would still remember Amelia, though. That's the thing, though. So that kind of kills that theory there, but that's sort of where I'm kind of going with the idea of, like, could there be another Subaru? Could there have been a Subaru that didn't live that long in Amelia that we just don't know about? That's where I'm kind of going with. But anyways, there's a million theories that I can come up with, but it all kind of stems around the idea of, where did Subaru go when he left Ram. That's really what it comes down to. But either way, I think that the problem really around, even putting my theories aside, I think the problem really coming around the idea of this being somebody else, which I don't think is going to be the case, is that we haven't really established, unless I'm forgetting, we haven't really established any sort of force that would implant another Subaru into this world. Unless we're just going to deal with some weird parallel worlds through Subaru's eyes, again, looking into this information for Raid. Maybe this might be a parallel world that we're going to be looking at. But again, I think this is a fresh Subaru from a convenience store into that world and responding to these two in front of him. But we'll see. But yeah, anyways, what a crazy episode. Putting that aside, what else in this episode we have to talk about? A lot of this episode is around Julius. Kind of a nice extension from the last episode, because we had the last episode. It really does feel like Julius wants to prove himself as a knight. He doesn't want to be seen as, less than the knight that he's supposed to be for the sake of Anastasia, that he wants to serve. That obviously she probably did kind of give him this position, something that's special to him. And yeah, it kind of implies a lot in this episode that he's lost so much because of what happened to him with Gluttony that he's afraid of losing anything else. Like, please don't take this title. I like that statement that he makes at some point. Please don't take that title from me. No, it's just a stupid... No, please don't take it from me. I've lost too much from this. He's lost his identity. I can't even imagine the idea of just suddenly waking up one day and nobody remembers you. And you might have one semblance of something that is still there, and you're like, I need to keep this one thing. This is the one thing that's keeping me grounded. That it's the one thing that the title is literally, and the position is literally his only thing that's grounding him to having existed. That's a scary thought. So I can see that frustration. Again, this is all like a continuation from the previous episode, and I like how it's kind of building into, while he's accepting what Subaru has done for him, there's almost a semblance here where he's getting frustrated because I want to acknowledge that you're helping me, but you're kind of not. And I think you need to kind of start acknowledging that. But anyways, yes, we opened up the episode, had a brief little scene with Amelia, Subaru, and Julius. Amelia saying, sit down. You're going to get some rest. You're like, okay, yes. Additionally, her little statement there, friends help each other. You're not bothering us. You can bother us all you want. You just need to sit here because we're trying to help you. Don't worry about us. You're worried about us. That's why you're rushing up there and trying to do that. But you don't need to worry about that. Just relax. Just relax. I thought it was a cute little scene there. Then we have the little scene with Ram, Subaru, Amelia, Shala, all them in the little meeting room there. I like what Ram says here. It's kind of true. Yeah, he needs to stop. Like, Julius needs to settle down. Like, him going up there, that could have cost us everything. There is a bit of a realist here in Ram right now. I kind of agree with her. Yes, technically when Amelia went up there, she kind of acknowledged the fact that Amelia sort of made him acknowledge her by getting info out of him and fulfilling his rules, his terms. So she proved herself to him, and that's why he let everybody go. There was an acknowledgement there that something was achieved. If Julius goes up there and starts fighting him again, there's nothing to stop Raid from coming downstairs and killing everybody. Oh, you all failed. Time to kill you all. Like, they're assuming that this guy is a nice guy. And I think that's what Ram acknowledges. Julius could have got us all killed. But yeah, that's when we go into, calling Shala a sham. I never claimed to be this sage. I'm just saying that's my name. But yeah, before we have a little brief comment, they're going to take a little break here and take their time. And very unsettling statement by Shala. Now, this is an unfortunate thing because I typically each week I will watch the show in both sub and dub. It's just something I do. Dub's easier to get screenshots. I do subtitle for actually gathering the story better because in a lot of cases, unfortunately, the dub changes things a lot. And I find the subtitle to be much more closer to the original. And this is one of those moments where I kind of felt it a little bit different in how it felt. The English dub kind of made Shala sound like she was being threatening. And that kind of goes to how Subaru reacts. He almost looks a little stunned. But I found like the voice and the inflection in the Japanese to be much more innocent. It sounded much more innocent, where the English dub sounded much more threatening. Where she's basically saying, stay here, take your time, you could take centuries all you want, and I'll watch over you the entire time. Just make sure that before you leave, have a little fun with me before you leave again. And it was a little bit unsettling because it almost feels like Subaru is like, yes, I think he's daunted by the fact that there's a fear there. And I think it's really because he's daunted by the fact of her saying something like that is a little bit scary. The idea of staying there for centuries is kind of scary. But I think there is also an element here where I think Subaru legitimately feels bad for her. Like this sage that left her behind is kind of a dick. Like that statement at the very end is like tragic. She's like, please just play with me before you leave. Like she's like this little, again, I go on my theory that I think that she's going to be a maw beast. She's probably just kind of seen as sort of a pet, that she's just left here as a guard dog, and her feelings on the whole matter is not even considered. And it's kind of sad in that regard. But again, I felt a little different from the Japanese. I think there's an element there where Subaru is kind of feeling bad for her. But either way, they have a little meal there. A couple cute little comments made about Beatrice. You can cuddle with me all you want. No, I'm just doing the whole mana thing. Don't worry about it. Then why'd you do that when I was asleep? I have to fulfill my heart too. It's so cute. A goofy little moment there. I love it. And the little comments made about her growth. Oh, I'm going to stay like this forever, so don't worry about it. As we cut over to Subaru going to see Rem again, brief little comment made by Julius about how badly he wants to be at Anastasia's side for the moment that she wakes up. Subaru kind of want him to be there as well. Before Subaru passes out, wakes up, and Anastasia is gone. Anastasia's gone. He goes and finds a bird. The bird leads to this little hidden pathway before he runs into, yes, Echidna. I was a little bit disappointed at the beginning of this conversation because I was really expecting a lot more to be fleshed out here. There is a good thing here because what happens here is that, yeah, he's like, let's drop the formalities here. I know who you are. Stop talking to me like you're Anastasia. Talk to me like you're Echidna. And he questions her specifically on a few things. But before then, she decides to question him in regards to who is he. That apparently back when he achieved all these, and this makes perfect sense, and I can technically see all of them doing this. I can see every single one of them doing this. The moment that Subaru achieved this, I can see that every single leader and potential leader would want to know who the hell Subaru is. But it seems like Anastasia herself as well did, and they found nothing on him. And again, that makes sense, right? But again, it's interesting that was something that they looked into, and she's questioning, like, who are you? Like, how'd you pull that off? And the sad thing is that Subaru doesn't tell her anything, and I don't expect him to tell her anything, but it's like one of those moments where she's pressing him on this, and she doesn't really get anything out of him, but yet she just kind of moves on to the next question. It's like, was she hoping to get anything out of him? Like, was Echidna, like, truly hoping to get any information out of him when she asked all these questions? How do you know Shala? How did you know this puzzle? At least it does technically show that Echidna is thinking about this, that she's not oblivious to the fact that, Subaru, you're kind of an anomaly here. Like, what exactly are you? And it's kind of nice, and it's technically something that she could probably present to Anastasia if she's ever brought back. The idea that, hey, remember when you looked into the Subaru guy? Yeah, I just had a whole bunch of experience with him, and he's pretty dang crazy. This isn't a normal person. But yeah, Subaru took his turn to kind of ask a bunch of questions, including how Anastasia is doing, that she's still sleeping, that, yeah, she's chipping away at her life this entire time. But additionally, interesting question, do you think that she could rule under the state that she is? He even notes the idea that why claim the country when you're just going to have to give it up? She's going to claim this. What if she wins the selection? She's not going to last long. It is implying the fact that she's not going to be around for very long. And so I'm kind of curious, again, if they're going to find a cure for that or some sort of fix for that before that would come up. Either way, it implies that Echidna knows something that we don't. That this is something that's very important, that no matter what, she's not going to give up on this goal. That she wants this for something. And I would assume it's probably for somebody else. That it's not going to be for her. If she's this dead set on it, and she herself is in the state that she is, it's got to be for somebody else. But yes, that's when Julius walks in. This kind of hurt, and I kind of expected this would happen eventually. I kind of assumed eventually Julius has got to find out. And there is a side of me that kind of wonders how Subaru was able to tell this before Julius did. But yeah, that's the same question mark that Julius has. You realized it before her first night did. Oh, that kind of did suck. That did kind of suck. Hey, it was just coincidence, this and that, whatever. It's just a title. Again, I do hurt for Julius right here because, again, he's grasping on to like the only thing that makes him who he is, and he's lost everything else. So yes, his title as a first knight. Don't tell me to get rid of it. Please don't. I'm trying to keep hold of this one last thing, and it frightens me to let this one last thing go. And again, it's to the later comment that he made. He's like, I know you're trying to help me and everything, but at the same time, I don't want you and Anastasia to not see me as a knight. Please let me stay in this position, please. It hurts. It hurts. But no, Going back to here, yes, Julius pulls his sword on Anastasia, which I think is kind of dumb, by the way. Why would you pull your sword on the person that you're supposed to serve? If they're possessed, what was your intention there? Are you planning on stabbing her through the neck? Like, what is that going to solve? If they're possessed, you need that possession to go away. She's in there. Put your sword down, dude. That kind of annoyed me a little bit there. But yes, trying to find the intention of this person that's inside of her. Yeah, thankfully accepting what Echidna is saying here. I love her. I want her to give her body back. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. But interesting thing here was questioning why she did what she did when he was fighting Reed. Sadly, again, didn't really get much answers from this, but it did imply sort of my theory here, which, yeah, technically I do have to correct here. Somebody did point out to me, don't forget, Julius got attacked by Gluttony, so Anastasia shouldn't know who Julius is. But the question mark is, should Echidna know who Julius is? I don't remember if I think they did fully imply that was forgotten, but she could have been playing into it as well. My question mark here really is, does Echidna still know who Julius is? I think she does. I think Anastasia might forget, but I think Echidna still knows who Julius is and knows how important. Because it's kind of confirmed right here. It's kind of confirmed right here because what she says is, I made a mistake. By attacking there, I made a reckless mistake there. I thought from a strategic standpoint, I needed to stop because we didn't know if Ray was going to kill you. We didn't know if he was going to go, oh, well, you lost to me. You better look next time, and lets them walk away alive. Again, like what Ram was saying, we don't know what this guy's going to do if we fail a mission. He could come down here and kill us all. So right here, she's saying, I did that because I knew that you were an important asset, and I didn't want you killed. But she also says, for Anna's sake as well. So it's still implying here that she's doing it for Anastasia's sake. What does that mean? Because you're the knight? Why would that be important? How do you know that's important? I think Echidna knows who Julius is despite the aspect of gluttony. There's going to be like a something about her being a spirit or something that is keeping her from losing memories of Julius. And again, I think that she knows that Anastasia loves Julius. That's my assumption there. I love Anastasia. She loves Julius. That's why she panicked. I got to protect this thing. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, he accepts this and goes to leave, tells Subaru that they're going to handle things their own way and that he doesn't have to get involved anymore. I understand Julius's frustration here. There is an element here where I think that Subaru constantly wants to say, hey, trust me, lean on me, hey, I can help you out over and over again. But then there's these moments where constantly Subaru's keeping things from Julius. There's a, hey, accept my help and don't keep secrets from me, but I'm going to keep secrets from you. And I like the fact that Julius right here is conflicted in saying, I understand why you did that, and I probably would have done the same thing too if I was in your shoes, but there is an element here where you're just like, dude, really? Dude, really? In the end, the biggest problem is that ending comment that he makes. I don't want you or Anastasia to think that I'm not worthy of being a knight. You keep acting like we're supposed to be bros and we're supposed to lean on each other and stuff like that, but you're taking my role away. In the end, you're taking my role away. You knew something that I didn't know about my master. I'm supposed to be her knight, and you took that role. You were standing in that spot. I appreciate what you did there, and I appreciate you're trying to help me out, but you're taking my spot. The only spot that I have right now. My only spot of existence right now. That's the key thing there. I feel for Julius. I feel Julius really bad right now. Ugh, it sucks. It sucks. Yeah, it cuts over to Subaru running into Ram. Ram mentioned the fact that she actually was going to go attempt the exam herself, but she stopped halfway. Question mark? Question mark? Before she mentioned the fact that he had a fight with the knight and that she's super intelligent so she can read him like a book. Before he goes off to try to find some information on how to take on Raid and wakes up as not Subaru. Or at least not remembering everything about this world. Again, I've got pretty much all of my theories at the beginning of this video, but what a spot to leave it at. Oof. It's gonna be so great if the next episode opens up and just like shrug. Like, yeah, he just bumped his head. Forgot his memories briefly. Oh, we need to heal to get his memories back or something stupid like that. Again, I don't see anything besides sort of a memory replacement because that's, again, what they sort of implied, or at least I got an impression of from the books. But I don't know, it could be something else. I can still see it being that technically Gluttony has attacked the place. That would be still crazy, but it's gonna be a question mark. But we'll see. We'll see next episode. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below. Until next time, y'all take care.